Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, inshallah, I will be solving the IDs that came on قدرات test that was on November 29th, 2025. Bismillah. So in the first question, if f of x equals square root of x plus 3, where f of u equals 6, then f of u over 3 is. Okay, in the first, he gave me f of u equals 6. Let's bring f of u. F of u, it means to substitute x for u. So this is going to be, this f of u is to substitute this for u. So this is going to be square root of u plus 3 equals to 6. Okay, we can find that out. Minus 3, square root of u equals 3. Power 2, power 2. Power 2 cancels the square root. So u equals 9. Okay, we got u equals 9. What does he want? He wants f of u over 3. We got u to be 9. So that's f of 9 over 3, which is f of 3. So we just need to calculate f of 3. So we're gonna plug x for 3. So f of 3 will be square root of 3 plus 3. Okay, now we need to add these. Actually, we don't. The answer is right there. It's D. Okay, for the second question, we want to simplify this. One property we can use is that we can distribute the root over what's inside if they are multiplied or divided. So, for example, for the first one, this is going to be cube root of 8 cube root of x power 6 minus, for the second one, that's going to be 4th root of 16 4th root of y power 8 over, here you can't distribute the root. Why? Because this is entirely one term. So this will be cube root of x minus y cubed. Okay, cube root of 8. What number times itself 3 times that gives 8? You should know it's 2, but even if you don't know, factor the 8. 8 is 4 times 2. 4 is 2 times 2. So 8 is 2 power 3. So that's gonna be cube root of 2 power 3. And then cube root of x power 6, when we want to convert this into a power, you divide the exponent by the index. So that's gonna be 6 over 3 minus 4th root of 16. Again, you don't know 16 is what times what 4 times. So 16 is 4 times 4. We each 4 is 2 times 2. So 16 is actually 2 to the power of 4. So this will be 4th root of 2 to the power of 4. Y, it's gonna be y and then exponent divided by the index. 8 over 4. All of that is over, and we're supposed to put equal here. Power 3 will cancel with, the cube root will cancel with power 3. We are left with x minus y. Okay, let's continue. We can move this a little bit down here. So this is gonna be, this will cancel with this, so 2. 6 divided by 3, that's 2, so 2x squared, and then minus, this will cancel with this, so another 2, and then y power 8 divided by 4, which is 2, over x minus y. So far so good. Okay, what can we do on the top? We can first take 2 as a common factor. So if you take 2 as a common factor, take 2 from here, you only have x squared left. Take 2 from here, you only have negative y squared over x minus y. Clearly, this is a difference of 2 squares. So this will be equal to 2, and this would factor into x minus y times x plus y. All of that over x minus y. This will cancel with this, so you are left with 2 times x plus y over 1. If you distribute this, it's gonna be equal to 2x plus 2y over 1. Anything divided by 1 is the same thing. So the answer is D. Okay, so in this question they are saying if g of x equals 2x squared plus x and g of f of x equals 8x squared plus 2x, then f of x is. Okay, they are asking which f of x do we put inside the g to get this? So what are we doing? We're trying the answers out to put them in g and see if we're getting this or not. Okay. In problems that require trial and error, start with the easiest. Don't follow the order of the problem. Type here, what's the easiest? The easiest would be x. But if you replace x with x, nothing happened. Skip replacing x because it will be the same. What is the second easiest? It's c. So we're gonna find g of 2x. It means we're replacing each x with 2x. So this is gonna be 2 times, instead of x, we're gonna put 2x squared plus x, we're gonna put 2x. 2x squared, you can distribute the power 2 or you can just repeat it twice. So this is 2 times 2x times 2x plus 2x. 2 times 2 times 2, that's gonna be 8x squared plus 2x, which is indeed this one. So yes, the answer is C. The domain of the function f of x equals square root of x plus 3 over x minus 3. Again, like the previous problem, we said we can distribute the root over multiplication and division. So the trick to this problem is to just distribute the root. This will be cube root, or square root of x plus 3 over square root of x minus 3. Okay, the root in the denominator, if we want to find the domain for that one, it's gonna be x plus 3 greater than or equal to 0. Move this to the other side, so x is greater than or equal to negative 3. The one in the denominator, it's gonna be x minus 3 only greater than 0 because it's in the denominator. It can never be equal to 0. Move the negative 3 to the other side, so x is gonna be greater than 3. Now we need to draw these on the same number line and take the intersection. Here is negative 3, here is 3, negative 3 greater than or equal, so a closed point on negative 3 going to the right, x greater than 3, so an open point on 3 and also going to the right. The intersection is this area, or this part of the number line. So the domain here will be from 3 open until positive infinity, which is also D. In question 5, we want to simplify what you see in here. So let's take it one step by another. X cubed minus x, you can simplify this by taking x as a common factor. So imagine you're dividing by x. X cubed divided by x is x squared. X divided by x is 1. Okay. Over. If we want to factor this is a quadratic. So we have 2. 2 is 1 times 2. Positive, positive means positive, positive. So that's going to be equal to 3. So that's x plus 1, x plus 2. Okay. For this one, we can also take x as a common factor. So this is going to be times. So take x as a common factor and imagine you're dividing by x. So this is going to be x plus 2. For this one, this is a quadratic that we need to factor. 4 is either 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. Negative, positive, it means both of them are negative. that's negative 5, that's negative 4, so clearly it's this one. So this one is gonna be x minus 1 times x minus 4. One last thing that we need to do is that this can be factored once more. So if we want to factor this, it's a difference of two squares. So this will be x times x minus 1 times x plus 1. And everything else is the same. Here x plus 1 times x plus 2. Here it's x times x plus 2. Down it's x minus 1 times x minus 4. Okay. Now cancel everything that's repeated from the numerator and the denominator. So we have x plus 1 cancels with x plus 1. We have x plus 2 cancels with x plus 2. And we have x minus 1 cancels with x minus 1. So what do we have left? On the top, we only have this x and this x, multiply them, so that's x squared. On the bottom, we only have x minus 4, so the answer is B. Okay, in this question, they want to find the value of a plus b. Okay, what we can do is that we can combine these together and then compare the numerator with the numerator that's gonna be here. So if we combine these here, the first one is 2 over x plus 1 minus 1 over x plus 3. Now we need to multiply the missing denominators. The first one is missing an x plus 3, so that's x plus 3 up and down. The second one is missing x plus 1, so here we're gonna multiply by x plus 1 up and down. You can also use the butterfly method, it would still work. So we have the same denominator, so we can combine these. So that's x plus 1 times x plus 3. On the numerator, multiply these 2 times x, which is 2x. 2 times 3, which is 6. This negative belongs to the 1. So negative 1 times x, which is negative x. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Okay, so 2x minus x, that's gonna be an x. Positive 6 minus 1, that's gonna be a positive 5. And down here we can multiply to make sure it's the same as these. So x times x, that's x squared. X times 3, that's 3x. 1 times x, that's x. 1 times 3, that's 4. So we end up with x plus 5 over x squared. 3x and x are 4x plus 4. This is supposed to be equal to what? Equal to this, to ax plus b over x squared plus 4x plus 3. By the way, this is a 3. I multiplied wrong. 1 times 3 is a 3. Anyway, now compare. By comparison, a is the coefficient of x here. So a is 1. B is the number that's alone without x, so b is 5. So from that we can tell that a is 1 and b is 5. What do they want? They want a plus b. So a plus b will be equal to 1 plus 5, which is 6. In this problem, we want to find the domain of whatever we have in here. So in here we have two functions. The first function is the fourth root, which is an even root. So an even root would have whatever is underneath the root to be greater than or equal to 0. So x squared plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. And this always hold true. Why? This can't be factored because this is a plus, not a minus, and this is always positive. It's gonna be always greater than or equal to 0. So the domain for only this piece is all real numbers. Okay, what is the second function? The second function is the entire denominator. The entire denominator cannot be equal to 0. So let's do that. Fourth root of x squared plus 2 minus 1 over 3 cannot be equal to 0. Okay, minus is plus. So fourth root of x squared plus 2 plus 1 over 3 cannot be equal to 0. Before you move this to the other side, we start doing the power 4. Wait for a bit. We just said that this one will always be positive, and this one is also positive. Positive plus positive can never be equal to 0. So this part also, it always holds true. No matter what the value of x you plug in, this can never be 0. So in this case, this is also R. So the total domain is R. Okay, we need to simplify this expression. So x squared is not alone, so you can either solve this by the quadratic formula, or I prefer that you solve it using the AC method or the slide and divide method. So if I want to do this one, slide the 14, so this is gonna be x squared minus 19x, and multiply the 14 by the negative 3, which is negative 42. Now we need to factor the 42. 42 is 1 times 42, 2 times 21, and actually you can stop here. You need a negative 19. This is negative. It means the big number is negative, the small is positive. So that's indeed a negative 19. So this is x plus 2 times x minus 21. Don't forget, if you slide, you need to divide. So we're gonna divide this by 14, the same 14 we multiplied by at the beginning. Divide this by 14. These can be simplified. If you divide by 2, it's gonna be x plus 1 over 7. These can be simplified. If you divide by 7, it's gonna be x minus 21 divided by 7 is 3. 14 divided by 7 is 2. Now bring the denominator with the x. So 7x plus 1 and 2x minus 3. All of that we're just doing the numerator. So our numerator here is, this doesn't look good. Okay, so that's gonna be 7x plus 1 times 2x minus 3. Now we need to factor this one also using slide and divide. So x squared minus 11x 21 times negative 2 is also negative 42. So we need to factor the 42, so we can just continue on this one. So this was 2. Now we can continue and do 3. 42 is divisible by 3. It starts with a 2. So 3 times what gives something that would start with a 2? You might think مثلا 3 times 14, because 3 times 4 is 12. And it is indeed 3 times 14. The big number is negative, the small number is positive, so that gives indeed a negative 11. So yeah, this is the answer. So this is x plus 3 times x minus 14. We did the slide, don't forget the divide. So divide by 21, divide by 21. 3 divided by 21, you can divide by 3 up and down. That's gonna be x plus, divide by 3 is 1, divide by 3, that's 7. 14 and 21, you can divide by 7 up and down. 14 divided by 7, that's 2. 21 divided by 7, that's 3. Bring the denominator with the x, so that's 7x plus 1 times 3x minus 2. So this is going to be 7x plus 1 times 3x minus 2. Clearly, this one cancels with this one, so you have this part left. 2x minus 3 over 3x minus 2, which is C. Okay, in here we are starting solving equations and inequalities. So the sum of the roots of the equation. So we need to find all of the solutions, and sum means to add. So this one, x minus 1 equal to 0, send this to the other side, so x equal to 1. While this one, it needs to be factored. Let's factor the 15. That's 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. Negative, negative, it means the big is negative and the small is positive. So that's negative 14, that's negative 2. We have a negative 2 in the middle. So indeed, this is the answer. So that's x plus 3, x minus 5. Split here, x opposite sign directly, so x is negative 3. Opposite sign directly, so x is 5. Now we find the sum. So 1 minus 3 plus 5, that's negative 2 plus 5, which is 3. The solution set of an absolute value in equation is, first of all, like always, you need to make the absolute value alone. So plus 7 plus 7. So absolute value of x plus 3 equals x plus 3. As we always know, if the two sides of the absolute value are similar, we solve by the definition. The definition of absolute value of x plus 3 equals, it's either positive x plus 3 or negative x plus 3. When does the first one occur? It occurs when x is greater than or equal the opposite sign of this number, which is negative 3. And the other one occurs when it's less negative 3. Which one do I have on the right side? I have this one. It means this is my answer. So the solution is x is greater than or equal to negative 3. If you want to graph that to find your interval, or you can do it mentally if you can. Starting from negative 3, closed point, and going to the right. So your solution as an interval is negative 3 to infinity, which is this one. Okay, in this problem, if mx plus 4 times nx plus 5 equal 20x squared plus kx plus 20, where m plus n equals 9, then the possible values for k are. Okay, so the first thing you can think about is you want to multiply these. So first times first, first times second, second times first, and second times second. So let's take it slowly and see how it goes. mx times nx, that's gonna be m, n, and then x squared. mx times 5, that's 5mx. 4 times nx, that's 4nx. And then 4 times 5, that's 20. This is supposed to be equal to this, which is 20x squared plus kx plus 20. Okay, you can start to see some pattern is happening. The 20 is the same as the 20. So by comparing coefficients, if you compare x squared with x squared, then the numbers of their coefficients match. But there is one thing. Here we have 1x, here we have 2 x's. So it's better that we take x as a common factor here in the middle. So mnx squared plus x. If you take x from the two middle terms, what you're going to have left is 5m plus 4n and then plus 20 equals 20x squared plus kx plus 20. Okay, so now we can compare. Here x squared has mx. Here x squared has 20. So from that we get that mn is equal to 20. Here we have x has 5m plus 4n. And here x has k. So from that we can deduce that 5m plus 4n is equal to k. Okay, he's asking for the possible values of k. So to find k, I need to find m and n somehow. Okay, how can I do that? Look, he's giving you an equation of m and n. We have another equation of m and n. We can solve these together to find the values of m and n. Let's do that. Isolate one of the variables. So let's make n alone, for example. Send the m to the other side. So this will be n equals 9 minus m. Now let's use that with this n. We're gonna remove n and put its value. So this is gonna be m times 9 minus m, which is the value of n, equal to 20. Distribute, so we end up with 9m minus m squared equal to 20. Since the term that has the power 2 is negative, it's better to move everything to the other side. So on the left side, we're gonna have 0 equals m squared minus 9m plus 20. Now we need to factor this, the 20, 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 3 there isn't, 4 times 5. Negative, positive, the big number is negative, the small number is positive. Negative 19, negative 8, and actually no, negative, positive, it means both of them are negative. Even I forget the table sometimes. So this is negative 21, negative 12, and negative 9, and that's what we're looking for. So 0 equals m minus 4 times m minus 5. So from that we can find that m is equal to 4 and m is equal to 5. You need the corresponding n. So if m is equal to 4, use this. So n will be equal to 9 minus 4. So the corresponding n would be 5. Same here, if m is 5, so n is 9 minus 5, which is 4. So here you have 2 values for m that you're gonna use them together, and 2 values for n. So you have 2 possibilities. The first possibility, m is 4 and n is 5. So let's do that. This is the first possibility. M is 4, so that will be 5 times 4. And n is 5, so plus 4 times 5. 20 plus 20, that's gonna be a 40. The second possibility, which is this one, m is 5, so that's gonna be 5 times 5. And n is 4, so that's gonna be 4 times 4. 25 plus 16, that's gonna be 41. So the 2 possible values are 40 and 41. Okay, in this problem, he wants us to write what this expression is equivalent to. And if we look at the answers, we see that the answers are in the vertex form. To obtain that, some of you might know we can do complete the square, but you don't have to. He wants you to solve this problem by trial and error. So, how does trial and error work in here? Here, the middle term is negative, so it's impossible for B and C because the middle term will be positive because of these two. So from the beginning, you can exclude B and C. What do you have left now? You have A and you have D. So let's try them both. If we want to try A, so this is going to be, you can do this either using the formula a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, or you can do it as two brackets repeated. I'm going to use the formula a squared, so x times itself, so x squared, and then 2 times a times b. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, negative 6 times x, that would be negative 6x. And then b squared, which is negative 3 times negative 3, which is plus 9. And then minus 8. So clearly, these will be x squared minus 6x plus 1. So indeed, it gives us this. So the answer is indeed A. Okay, in question 13, they want us to solve this inequality when it's greater than or equal to 0. So let's do that. X cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x is greater than or equal to 0. What we can do here is we can take x as a common factor. So imagine you're dividing each of these by x. So what do you have left? X squared plus 3x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. The middle one is a quadratic. 4 is 1 times 4, 2 times 2. Positive, negative, it means the big one is positive, the small one is negative. This is 3, this is 0, so it's indeed this one. So this is x times x minus 1 times x plus 4. That's greater than or equal to 0. Find your zeros, so x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, and x is equal to negative 4. We need now to test these on the number line. So they will all be closed points because here we have an equal. So put the smaller one first, negative 4, and then the 0, and then the 1. And then you need test values. So we can test, let's say, the negative 5. In normal cases, you would need test values in all of these, but here it's all linear factors, so you can just test one, it keeps alternating. So if we test negative 5 instead of the x, so that's gonna be negative. And the second bracket, when you put negative 5, it's also negative. The third bracket, when you put negative 5, that's also gonna be negative. Negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative. So this one will be negative, and then it alternates. Positive, negative, and positive. Okay, what are we looking for? This is greater than 0. Greater than 0, it means we want the positive ones. Where are the positive ones? It's this one and this one. So the solution is hard bracket negative 4 to 0 union hard bracket 1 to infinity. So the answer is I can't see it. The first one? Yeah, it is the first one. It's A. In the equation 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equal to 0, the positive value of x. So in other words, he wants you to solve the equation and then choose the positive answer. Let's do that. So x squared is not alone, so we're going to use slide and divide. So this becomes x squared minus 5x minus 2 times 3, which is 6, equal to 0. Factor the 6, 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Negative, negative, the big one is negative, the small one is positive. Negative 5, negative 1, clearly we want the negative 5. So that's going to be x plus 1 times x minus 6 equal to 0. We did the slide, don't forget the divide. Divide by 2, divide by 2. This is going to be, this can't be solved or can't be divided. So this is gonna be 2x plus 1, so this is gonna be x minus 3. So if you wanna solve, x will be equal to 3. This one can just be the opposite of this one, by the way. But let's do it normally. 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Move this to the other one. So 2x equal negative 1 divided by 2 divided by 2. So x is equal negative 1 over 2. They want the positive value of x. Clearly, this is the positive one. So the answer is 3. If f of x equals 8 to the power of x minus 1 and g of x equals 2 to the power of x minus 3, such that f of x minus g of x equal to 0, then x equals. It looks complicated, but actually it's really easy. Let's substitute f of x for its value and g of x for its value. So this is going to be 8 to the power of x minus 1 minus 2 to the power of x minus 3. That's going to be equal to 0. It looks like an exponential equation. So you need only one term on each side. Send this to the other side. So now you have 8 to the power of x minus 1 equal 2 to the power of x minus 3. The 8 can be written as 2. If we factor the 8, that's 4 times 2, and 4 is 2 times 2. We found out that the 8 is actually 2 to the power of 3. So that will be 2 to the power of 3 times x minus 1 equal 2 to the power of x minus 3. Cancel the 2 with the 2, distribute these. So 3x minus 3 equals x minus 3. Okay, bring this one here, this one there. So 3x minus x equals 3 minus 3. So 2x equal to 0, divide by 2, divide by 2. That ends with x equal to 0. The largest possible value of 4 plus 10 over 3x, where 4 minus 2 over 3x is greater than or equal to plus x. Okay, so they want the largest possible value of this one. So we first need to find it using this inequality. After we find it, we plug it back into here. So let's do that. Okay, so we have 4 minus 2 over 3x is greater than or equal to plus x. I told you before, if there is a denominator, just multiply the entire equation by that denominator. So I'm gonna multiply this entirely by 3. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be as follows. 4 times 3, that's 12, minus 2 times 3. You can cancel the 3 with the 3, but let's multiply normally. 6 over 3, x greater than or equal 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 3x. 6 divided by 3, that's actually 2. So this is 12 minus 2x is greater than or equal 6 plus 3x. Have the x's all on one side, so we can bring this here and send this there. So we would have negative 3x minus 2x is greater than or equal 6 minus 12. Fix this. So negative 3x minus 2x, that's negative 5x, is greater than or equal 6 minus 12, that's negative 6. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. This is gonna cancel. Don't forget that we divided by a negative. So we have to change the inequality sign. So x will be less than or equal to 6 over 5. Okay. X is less than or equal to 6 over 5. It means 6 over 5 is the largest value of x. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna substitute it back in here. So 4 plus 10 over 3 times 6 over 5. We can simplify this. Divided by 3, that's 2. Divided by 3, that's 1. Same for the 5. Divided by 5, that's 1. Divided by 5, that's 2. So we end up with 4 plus 2 over 1 times 2 over 1. That's 4 plus 2 times 2 is 4, which is equal to 8. And we don't have 8 in the answer. So something we did wrong. What is it? I have absolutely no idea. Actually, we didn't do any mistake. The mistake is in the options. So this 6 is supposed to be an 8. So the answer will be D. I will fix it in the file that I will send you. If x and y are real numbers such that x times y is less than -1, which of the following is always positive? Okay, x times y is less than -1. It means one of them is negative, because less than -1, it means they are negative. So you have two possibilities in here. Either x is negative and y is positive. So let's take x equal 2 and y equal -2, for example. That way, when you multiply them, you're getting -4, which is less than -1. The other case would be x is the -1. Oh, sorry, x is the -2 and y is the 2. Okay, and let's try out the options. Which of the following is always positive? So it has to be positive in both cases. So let's try A. X minus y. X minus y is 2 minus -2, which is 4. That's positive. But if we try the second case, it's going to be -2 minus 2, which is -4. So nope, it's not A. Let's try B next. X squared minus y squared. So let's try that. X squared, it's gonna be 2 squared minus y squared, which is -2 squared. So that's gonna be 4 minus 4, which is 0. 0 is not positive. By the way, you can try other numbers. It can be positive, so make sure you try different numbers. But anyway, it gave us 0, it is not positive. I don't even have to try the second case because it fails here. Let's try C. C is y minus x, which is, in this case, -2 minus 2. So that's -4. So this also fails. So A, B, and C fails. So it's none of the above. One trick they can try here is that they tell you, for example, that x is greater than y. In this case, the answer A and B would be correct. Okay, in this question, the solution set of the inequality and whatever you see here is, okay, this is one of the troublesome inequalities. By the way, this can be solved algebraically, but it's a lot of work. It's not the way it's meant for this inequality to be solved. But first, let's try to put this here to make one side to be a 0. So x squared plus 4x minus 4x square root of x. This is supposed to be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, if we want to solve this, it's a lot of headache. So we can actually exclude some of the answers. How so? You have a square root. A square root means x must be greater than or equal to 0. So in this case, this is wrong and this is wrong. So you only have B and C left. Why A is wrong? Because A is all real numbers. It includes negative numbers, where x can't be negative. It's inside a root. Same thing here. X is greater than or equal to -1. So some negative numbers are also included in here. So again, you can't. All what's left, it's either B or C. Mister, you wrote x is greater than or equal to 0. maybe 0 wouldn't be an answer. فتest the 0. Test 0 يعني plug in 0, it's gonna be 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 4 times 0 square root of 0, which is supposed to be greater than or equal to 0. All of this cancels, so 0 is greater than or equal to 0. So 0 is accepted. So the answer is C. Solving this algebraically, it would take about 5 minutes of its own. Well, I don't think they meant you to solve it algebraically. So this is one of the questions where you have to really focus on the details of the question to come up with a shortcut. Okay, for question 19, the solution set of the equation 4 equals absolute value of 2x plus 3 minus 3 square root of 2x plus 3 is. Whenever you see an absolute value equation, you just feel like, yalla, move everything to the other side, split and solve. Not on this one. Whenever you see an absolute value and a root, your brain should go directly for a quadratic equation. How so? Let's move this 4 here. So we have absolute value of 2x plus 3 minus 3 square root of 2x plus 3 minus 4, and this is supposed to be equal to 0. Okay, let's return the absolute value to its normal state. What was the normal state of the absolute value? It was square root of 2x plus 3 and then power 2. The power 2 cancels with the root, so it gives you the absolute value. Minus 3 square root of 2x plus 3 minus 4. Doesn't this look like a quadratic? Not exactly. But let's try replacing this square root with another variable. Let's say a y. Wouldn't this be 0 equals y squared minus 3y minus 4? Now it looks like a quadratic. So let's solve it. So we have the 4. 1 times 4, 2 times 2, negative, negative, the big is negative, the small is positive, negative 3 and 0, so it's this one. So 0 equals y plus 1 and y minus 4. Solve, so y equals negative 1, y equals 4. Return y to its original state. Square root of 2x plus 3 is equal to negative 1. When this one is directly rejected, the square root can never be equal to a negative number. Return the other one. So square root of 2x plus 3 is equal to 4. Yeah, we can continue with this one. Cancel the square root with power 2. So you will end up with 2x plus 3 is equal to 16. Move the 3 or minus 3, doesn't matter. Minus 3. So 2x is equal to 13. Divide by 2. You end up with x equal to 13 over 2, which is A. Question 20. 60% of a number equals 30% of its squared. The number is, so 60% of a number, let's say the number is x, equal 30% of its squared, so x squared. So that's gonna be 60 over 100 x equal 30 over 100 x squared. 0 will cancel with 0, and then you still have 10 in the denominator, so we're gonna multiply everything by 10 to cancel this 10 in the denominator. So we are left with 6x equals 3x squared. Move this to the other side, so 0 equals 3x squared minus 6x. This is a quadratic, but it's missing c, it's missing the number. So we did solve this by taking x as a common factor. Actually, we can take here 3x as a common factor. Doesn't really matter, both will work. So if you take 3x as a common factor, so it's like you're dividing these by 3x. So 3 divided by 3, it cancels. X squared divided by x is x. Minus 6 divided by 3 is 2. And x divided by x, it cancels. So all of this is equal to 0. So here it means 3x is equal to 0. Divided by 3 divided by 3, so x is equal to 0. And x is equal to 2. So clearly the answer is 2, which is D. Question 21. If x cubed is less than 0, then square root of 25x squared plus 5x equals. This is a really repeated question. We have seen this a lot. So split the root. So that's going to be square root of 25 square root of x squared plus 5x. Square root of 25, that's 5. Square root of x squared, that's absolute value of x plus 5x. Now, the absolute value of x can be one of two things. Using the definition, the absolute value of x, it's either positive x with x is greater than or equal to 0, or negative x when x is less than 0. Look here, someone will tell me, mister, this is x cubed. If you cube root both sides, it's gonna give you x is less than 0, which is the same thing. So clearly, this absolute value of x is negative x. So this is gonna be 5 times negative x plus 5x. I wrote negative 5 times negative x. 5 times negative x, that's negative 5x plus 5x, which is clearly equal to 0. Okay, so in this question we want to solve this equation. This is a radical equation. The way to solve it is by making the square root alone. So we're gonna add x. So we are left with square root of 1 minus x equals x plus x, which is 2x plus 1. To cancel the square root, you need to apply a power 2. The square root will cancel with the power 2, so you end up with 1 minus x equals. This bracket power 2, you can either repeat it twice and multiply using FOIL, or use the formula a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So a squared, 2x times itself, which is 4x squared, and then 2 times 1 times 2x, which is 4x, and then 1 times itself, which is 1. I need one side to be a 0 because this is a quadratic, so minus 1, this cancels, and also this cancels, plus x, so you are left with 0 equals 4x squared plus 5x. This is a quadratic where you don't have the c, so you solve this by taking x as a common factor. So 0 equals x times 4x plus 5. Okay, from here you can split and you would say x is equal to 0 or 4x plus 5 is equal to 0 minus 5 minus 5, 4x is equal to negative 5, and then divide by 4, so x is equals negative 5 over 4. And you would say, خلاص, the solution set is 0 and negative 5 over 4. It's not there, so it's none of the previous. Unfortunately, I wish it was that simple. In radical equations, you have to check. You have to plug your answer back to see if it's correct or not. So check x equals 0. So we're gonna plug in 0. So this will be square root of 1 minus 0, and then minus 0 equals 0 plus 1. These cancels, so you end up with the square root of 1 equal 1. So 1 equal 1. So this one is correct. But actually, 0 isn't the problem. The problem is negative 4 over 5. So we need to check that as well. And that's going to take some time. So check x equals negative 5 over 4. So let's do the left side alone. So that's going to be square root 1 minus negative 5 over 4 minus 5 over 4 equals negative 5 over 4 plus 1. Let's go and do this one because it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, so this is going to be a plus, and to add these, we're going to make this one 1 over 1, have a common denominator by multiplying by 4. So this will be square root 4 plus 5, which is 9 over 4, minus 5 over 4 equals, we're going to do the same here, times 4 times 4. So that's going to be negative 5 plus 4, which is negative 1 over 4. خلاص, we're done with the right side. The left side. Square root of 9 is 3, square root of 4 is 2, minus 5 over 4. This is supposed to be equal to negative 1 over 4. Now you need to multiply by 2 up and down. So that's going to be 6 over 4 minus 5 over 4. This is supposed to be equal to negative 1 over 4. But so when we subtract this, it's actually 1 over 4. So it's not equal to negative 1 over 4. So in this case, this is accepted, this is rejected. So actually the answer is just A equals 0. An evil way? Yeah, I know. Now let's move toward problems. 5 pairs of shoes and 8 shirts cost 340 KD. Let's call this one X and let's call this one Y. So 5X plus 8Y, that's equal to 340. And then he told me, if the price of one shirt, we call the shirts Y, is 10 KD more the price of one pair of shoes, which was called X. So Y is 10 KD more than the price of the shoes. So 10 plus X. Okay, you have Y, plug it in back. So this is gonna be 5X plus 8 times 10 plus X is equal to 340. So distribute, so 5X plus 80 plus 8X equal to 340. X's together, that's gonna be 13X plus 80 equal to 340 minus 80 minus 80. So 13X equals 260. Divide by 13, divide by 13. Actually 26 divided by 13 is 2. So from that we can get that X is 2 and then we have a 0. So X is 20. So mister, the answer is 20. Be careful. He's asking about what? He's asking about the price of one shirt, and shirts we called Y. So actually you're looking for Y, not for X. So Y, which is 10 plus X, so just 10 plus 20, which is equal to 30. So your answer is actually 30. Okay. Ahmad's car consumes 10 liters of fuel every 5 days. The price of 1 liter is 0.2. So we have 10 liters every 5 days. If the liter is 0.2, so it means that 10 liters is 10 times 0.2, 10 times 2, not 5. 10 times any decimal, it moves the decimal here, so those 10 liters is 2 kd. So 2 kd is enough for 5 days. 2 kd is enough for 5 days. Ahmed has 16 kd. So if he has 16 kd, so it's enough for how many days? We can do it cross multiplication if we wish. We're comparing between days and kd. So cross multiply what we're looking for. It will be equal to 5 times 16 divided by the 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8, so 5 times 8, which is 40 days. 2 baskets contain balls in a ratio of 9 to 4. If the basket with the fewer balls contains 12 balls, then the total number of balls in both baskets is. We can solve this either by comparison or as an equation. So in ratios, we normally know that this is 9x and this is 4x. He said the fewer one contains 12. The fewer one is 4x. So now you would have 4x equals 12 divided by 4 divided by 4. So x equals 3. So the first basket would have 9x, which is 9 times 3, which is 27. So we know now that the small basket has 12, the big basket has 27. So both of them, or the total, would be equal to 12 plus 27, which is 39. You can also do it by comparison. Here, if 4 gives you 12, then 9 gives you what? And cross multiply. So 9 times 12 divided by 4. 12 divided by 4, that's 3. So that's 9 times 3, which is 27. And then you will have to add the 12 to it. It will also give you 39. Munira sold 44% of her books and had 280 books remaining. So first we need to know these 280 books, they represent what percent? If she sold 44%, so the remaining would be 100 minus 44, which is, some people would say 66. Jama'a, concentrate, it's 56%. And now we can do comparison between percents and the books. The original 100%, actually that's what we're looking for, so that's X. And our 56%, they are the 280 books. Cross multiply, so X equals the two numbers together divided by the number with X. 100 times 280 divided by 56. There is something interesting between the 28 and the 56. Actually, if you divide this by 28, it gives you 1. Divide this by 28, it gives you 2. So you are left with 100 times 1, and we had a 0 left, so times 10 over 2. 10 divided by 2 is a 5, so 100 times 5, which is 500. For question 27, a grocery owner bought 20 kilograms of apples for 0.5 kd per kilogram. He found that 20% of them were rotten and unfit for sale. At what price must he sell 1 kilogram of the remaining apples to make a 100% profit on his total cost? Okay, let's take it one step by another. So, 20 kilograms, each kilo is 0.5. So what he bought, or what he spent, so he spent 20 times 0.5, which is clearly 20 times half is 10. So he spent 10 kd. Okay, so he wants to make 100% profit. It means he wants his profit to be also 10 kd, which means he wants to sell the apples he has for 20 kd. Okay, moving on. He found that 20% of them were rotten, so we need to know what he has left. So he had, we can calculate it as a percentage. If 20% were rotten, then 80% were okay. So the okay apples, we can call it like that, I think. It will be 80% times 20, which is 80 over 100 times 20. 0 is 0, 0 is 0, so 8 times 2, which is 16 kilos. So he has only 16 kilos to sell, and he wants to sell these 16 kilos for 20 kd. So each kilo needs to be what? Yes, we need to divide. So price of 1 kilo, it will be equal to 20 kd divided by 16. We can, here, if we look at this, they are decimals. So we need to make this into a decimal somehow. In a decimal, you need your denominator to be 10, 100, 1000, etc. So let's ship it down first. Okay, 20 and 16 we can definitely divide by 4. So that's gonna be 5 over 4. And we have a 4, we can make this 4 a 100. Or you can do it a mixed number or long division, a lot of ways. So if we're gonna make it a mixed number, 5 has how many 4s? It has 1, and we have 1 over 4 left. 1 1/4 طبعا هي 1.25, so the answer is B. Ahmed can paint a wall alone in 10 hours. Ahmed and Jassim together need 6 hours to paint the same wall. How many hours does Jassim need to paint the wall alone? So clearly this is the working together problem. So we memorize the formula. It's 1 over T1 plus 1 over T2 equals 1 over T. So Ahmed can paint alone in 10 hours, so 1 over 10. And we don't know what Jassim is gonna do, so we're gonna keep it T2 over their time together, which is 1 over 6. Move this to the other side, so now you would have 1 over T2 equals 1 over 10 minus, 1 over 6 minus 1 over 10. You need a common denominator, so the easiest way to do it is to multiply by 10 here, multiply by 6 here. So this will be 1 over T2 equals 10 over 60 minus 6 over 60. So 1 over T2 equals 4 over 60. Now do cross multiply or flip both sides. I like to do that. Flip both sides. So you will end up with T2 equals 60 over 4, which is 15 hours. Ahmed reads a book in 28 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's Ahmed. He reads the book in 28 minutes and 30 seconds. Ali's reading speed is twice Ahmed's speed. Listen carefully. If someone is twice as fast, it means they are taking half the time. That's the trip. Okay, so Ali will be not twice time as Ahmed. That means he is slower. He's actually, if he's twice as speed, it means he's taking half the time. So half of the 28, that's 14 minutes. Well, half of the 30 seconds, that's 15 seconds. And then Omar takes 5 minutes 25 seconds longer than Ali. So Omar is the same as Ali's time, but we're gonna add on it 5 minutes and 25 seconds. So that's gonna be 14 plus 5, that's 19 minutes. 15 plus 25, that's 40 seconds. Well, be careful while you're adding the seconds. If your seconds exceed 60, then you should take each 60 seconds and add them to the minutes, just in case. Yani. Anyway, so the time Omar takes 19 minutes and 40 seconds, which is B. If 3x minus 2y over y equals negative 6 over 5, then x over y equals. So clearly you need to cross multiply. 3x times 5, that's gonna be 15x. Negative 2y times 5, that's negative 10y, equals negative 6 times y, that's negative 6y. You have 1x, but you have 2 y's, so you have to make these y's 1. So plus 10y plus 10y, you end up with 15x equals 4y. Okay, we need x divided by y, let's divide by y. So you're gonna have 15x over y equals 4. I still need to cancel this 15. So let's divide by 15. So we end up with x over y equals 4 over 15. And that's our answer. If the price of an item is 340 KD after a reduction of 85 KD, the percentage of the reduction is. Some people would just go ahead and calculate 85 from 340. But again, no. 340 is the price after a reduction. So if you want the original price, you're gonna have to add these 340 plus 85. That's gonna be 425. This is your original. So when you make the percent and value comparison, 100% is equivalent to 425. They want the percentage of the reduction, so that's x, and the reduction was 85. Now cross multiply. So x will be equal 100 times 85 divided by 425. Okay, this one is a bit tricky to chip down. So what can we do? We can divide these by 5 to see how it goes. So divide by 5, divide by 5. Both unfortunately are gonna require long division. So 8 has 1 5, so that's 5, subtracts the 3. 35 divided by 5, that's 7, which is 35. So this is gonna be 100 times 17 over 425 divided by 5. We also need to do that as long division. 4 divided by 5 we can't. 42 divided by 5, so 40, which is 8. Subtract, that's gonna be 2, bring down the 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So That's gonna be 25. So this is actually an 85. Okay, so still we can do these two. Maybe the 17 and the 85 are divisible. Maybe 17 times what? 17 times 6, maybe? 6 times 7 is 42. No, we need 7 times something that would give 5. 7 times 5. 7 times 5, yeah. Let's try كده. 17 times 5. 7 times 5, that's 35. 5 times 1, that's 5 plus 3, that's 8, yeah. So we can divide here by 17. Divide here by 17, that would be 1. That would be 5. So that's 100 divided by 5, which is 20. So the discount is 20%. Okay, so Rami, Omar, and Nadim went to a restaurant. Rami paid half of what Nadim paid. So Rami paid half of what Nadim paid. So Rami equal half of Nadim. And then Omar paid 2.5 what Rami paid. So Omar paid 2.5 what Rami paid. But we know Rami is already equal to half n. So Omar is equal, convert this to a mixed number. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So that's 5 over 2. And Rami is half n, half Nadim. So half n. So Omar now paid 5 over 4 n. Okay. Now, if the total bill was 22 KD, then Nadim paid what? So total bill, it means what they all paid. So we have Rami plus Omar plus Nadim equals 22 KD. So Rami, he was half n, so that's 1 over 2n, plus Omar is 5 over 4n, plus Nadim, which is just n, equals 22. We want to get rid of this denominator, so I'm going to multiply the entire thing by 4. So multiply the first one, it's going to be 4 over 2, which is 2, so 2n. Multiply the second one, it's going to be 20 over 4. 20 over 4 is 5. Multiply the n, so plus 4n equals 88. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. So 11n equals 88 divided by 11 divided by 11. So n equals 8. So it means Nadim paid 8 KD. Two runners, Ahmed and Badr, start running on a circular track at the same time from the same point in opposite directions. Ahmed runs at 6 meters per second and Badr runs at 4 meters per second. If the track circumference is 400 meters, how many times will they meet after 10 minutes? So we have a circular track. Both are starting in the same point. One is going here and the other is going there. They will meet at a specific point. Okay? So we want to meet after how many seconds will they meet the first time? Find that time and then divide the 10 minutes by that, and we will know how many times they will meet. So how can we tell how many times they meet? We have our triangle that we know it. This is the distance, this is the speed, this is the time. We want the time, so the time equals distance divided by speed. So in this case, the distance is 400 meters over the speed. Type which speed? Their speed together. Because they are running in opposite directions, their speed is added. If they were running in the same direction, their speed would be minus. So 6 plus 4, so that's 400 over 10. So they will meet after 40 seconds. Okay, in 10 minutes, 10 minutes is how many seconds? We multiply that by 60. So in 10 minutes, 10, and convert that to seconds, so times 60 divided by 40 seconds. So 0 will cancel with 0, so we have 60 divided by 4, which is 15, so they will meet 15 times. Okay, now the geometry. A right-angled triangle has a perimeter of 30 centimeters. So we have a right-angled triangle and it has a perimeter of 30 centimeters. Yani here this is A, this is B, and this is C. We know that the total is 30 centimeters. Then the lengths of the two legs are. Okay. So this is a right angle triangle, so we need the Pythagoras theorem. The two legs are A and B, so we need to find C. So you have to try out your answers. Let's try the first one. Try A. So this is A, this is B. The theory says A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared. 36 plus 64 equals C squared. 100 equals C squared. Square root. So C is equal to 10. Okay, if C was 10, so A plus B plus C would be 6 plus 8 plus 10. 6 plus 8 is 14 plus 10, that's 24, not equal to 30. So A is wrong. Okay. If we look at B, 8 and 15, you can exclude that one directly. Why? How come one of the legs is 15? We know that C is the longest side. So if one is 8, one is 15, it means 8 plus 15, that's 23. It means the remaining one is 7. It's impossible. The hypotenuse, or C, must be the biggest one. So go ahead and try C. So that's gonna be 5 power 2 plus 12 power 2 equals C squared. That's 25 plus 144 equals C squared. 25 plus 144, that's 169 equals C squared. Square root. I do not expect that you memorize this one, but you know that 12 squared equal to 144. We just did it now. So you can try 13 squared and it's gonna be indeed 169. So C is actually 13. Okay, let's add A, B, and C. So A plus B plus C, 5 plus 12 plus 13. Indeed, it's 30. So yes, the answer is C. A rectangular garden has a perimeter of 120, and its length exceeds its width by 20 meters. So we have a rectangular garden and we have the length exceeds the width by 20. So if this is the width, then the length is actually width plus 20. Okay, and we have a parameter of 120. So let's write the formula for the parameter. The parameter equals 2L plus 2W. The parameter we do have it's 120 equals 2L. So 2, and we know L is W plus 20 plus 2W, distribute. So 120 equals 2W plus 40 plus 2W. So 120 equal 2W plus 2W, that's 4W, plus 40 minus 40 minus 40. So 2W equals 80. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So W equals 20. So now we know that this is 20. The other one would be 20 plus 20, which is 40. Now he wants the area. So the area, it's easy. Area of rectangle is length times width. So that's gonna be 40 times 20, which is 800 meters squared. The last part for today would be the number theory. Let m, n, and k be 3 positive integers, 2 of which are odd and the third is even. Which of the following must be odd? Okay, so we know that m, n, and k will be 3 positive integers, 2 of them are odd, and the third is even. So choose 2 odd numbers, and the third one would be even. So let's take m is 1, n is 3, and k, let's have it 4. Which of the following must be true? Okay, must be odd. So let's try A. M plus k, so 1 plus 3 plus 4, that's 8. No, that's not odd. Let's try B. M times n times k, so that's 1 times 3 times 4. 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 4 is 12, still not odd. Let's try C. M plus n, so 1 plus 3 times 4. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, still not odd. D. M times n, m times n, that's 1 times 3, plus k, so plus 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7, this one is odd, so yes, the answer is D. And for our final question for today, the square of a real number must be. Okay, so a real number, it's one of 3 possibilities. If you want to choose a real number, so it's either negative or 0 or positive. So let's find 3 numbers. If it was negative, let's choose negative 2, for example. So negative 2 squared, it's gonna be 4. Okay. If it's the 0, we have 0 squared is equal to 0. If it's positive, let's choose 2, for example. So 2 squared is equal to 4. So the square of a real number must be a positive number? No, in the middle here, it's not positive. So this is wrong. Not a positive number? No, here is positive, here is positive. Not a negative number? Yes, because this is not negative, this is not negative, and this is not negative. So the answer is C. That was it for today. I hope this video becomes beneficial for you. Best of luck in your test, inshallah. This was Mr. Ahmed Warshan. Peace and out.